This is 5 on your side at 4. Focused on you.
Right now at 4, we are in a weather impact alert. Extreme heat and humidity all across the bi-state with a heat index well over 100 degrees today. That heat advisory remaining in effect until tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brent Solomon.
And I'm Kay Quinn. Temperatures have dropped back into the 90s one day after St. Louis tied a record high of 102. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joins us now with a first look at the weather impact forecast. Scott?
All about location this afternoon. Areas that have seen some showers and thunderstorms, mainly south of St. Louis and off to the west. Not as hot as much of the metro area is right now. We look down in Arnold, clouds are building in Jefferson County, and especially as you go down Highway 21 here and head south towards Hillsborough, we're starting to see some storms building up. Now, outside and away from those thunderstorms, the heat index values 100 to 105 degrees for many locations in the metro. And so the heat advisory will continue into tomorrow. Now, you do get some relief from that heat, not necessarily the humidity, but the heat for many of these thunderstorms. The ones that are really loaded up with lightning right now are stretching from Potosi up towards Hillsborough. They are drifting towards the east, so they're moving into DeSoto right now. Eventually, they should slide over towards 55 around Festus. Rest of the metro area, though, at the moment is pretty much on the quiet side. So it's really about the heat. If you can get under one of those thunderstorms, you get a break from it. Otherwise, the rest of us are still stuck with this heat and humidity right through tomorrow. We should get a better chance of rain on a more widespread basis Friday, and that will drop our temperatures down and also bring us some better weather over the weekend. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes, Kay.
All right, we'll see you then. Thank you, Scott. You can get our weather anytime on ksdk.com or text the word weather to 314-425-5355. We'll send you the link. Now to breaking news in St. Louis. The face of Ted Drew's frozen custard has died. Ted Drews Jr. passed away this week at the age of 96. His father, Ted Drews Sr., opened the family's first frozen custard stand in Florida in 1929 before expanding to St. Louis. There are currently 2 Ted Drews in St. Louis, one on Chippewa, the other on South Grand. The family says plans for a memorial are underway.
Right now, a Missouri man continues his fight to get off death row. An evidentiary hearing is happening in St. Louis County for Marcellus Williams. He's scheduled to be executed on September 24th for killing former Post-Dispatch reporter Felicia Gale back in 1998. His lawyers are trying to prove the prosecutor's office mishandled evidence. But the key piece of evidence to support Williams is DNA testing that's no longer viable. Earlier this month, a judge approved a deal that would allow him to serve life in prison, but the state Supreme Court overruled that agreement. Our Justina Cornell is in the courtroom for that hearing. Look for her reports coming up tonight on 5 on Your Side at 5 and 6. We will also have updates online at ksdk.com and on the 5+ app.
Right now, St. Louis police working to learn more about a man who died after being set on fire. Officers made the discovery while responding to reports of shots fired on Thrush Avenue near Prang in the Walnut Park East neighborhood. Around 10 last night, fire crews put out the flames. The man was pronounced dead on the scene. An autopsy is being performed. Anyone with information is asked to contact St. Louis Police. You can also remain anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS.
Well, as of today, a handful of new laws are in effect all across Missouri. Several include public safety. Valentine's Law is named after St. Louis County Police Detective Antonio Valentine. He was killed in the line of duty after a head-on crash with a stolen car in 2021. The law makes it a felony to run from law enforcement in a vehicle. Another new law bans celebratory gunfire across the state. Blair's Law makes firing a gun a misdemeanor for first-time offenders. It is named after a Kansas City girl who died from a stray bullet in 2011. St. Louis passed its own ban on celebratory gunfire back in March.
This is not the Busch Stadium I am used to.
No.
Late August, early September, usually it's packed. The Redbirds are in the race. It is a different vibe here.
Yep, it's shocking.
It is shocking.
Not used to this
Yeah.
ever.
Sparse crowds at Busch Stadium making headlines across Major League Baseball. Last night, the organization set a record low attendance at the stadium, but sources tell 5 on Your Side the actual turnstile attendance was much smaller.
Yeah, 5 on Your Side's Holden Kerwicki joins us from the ballpark with more on those dwindling crowds. Hey there, Holden.
Hey Brent, hey Kay. Now, despite the heat index being close to 100 degrees, I actually spoke with a number of fans who said they not only went to last night's game, but they plan on going tonight as well. But they said the experience inside the ballpark was a little bit different from anything they had experienced in the past. While the number of tickets sold to last night's game was reportedly close to 27,000, multiple sources close to the organization told me the actual number of people that came through the turnstiles was closer to 13,000. Throughout most of the day today, tickets were reselling on StubHub for $0. You just had to pay the StubHub fees. With that in mind, I asked 101 ESPN's Tim McKernan and Randy Carricker what needs to change to get fans back to the ballpark.
I get the sense that Cardinal fans either feel like they're being lied to or they're being treated like they don't know any better. And this market has some educated baseball fans, and that messaging gets tiring.
A lot of people say that they don't buy tickets because of John Mozeliak. And if that's a part of not drawing people to the ballpark, I think that's something that they have to look at and replace.
And now it's not like the sky is falling over here at Busch Stadium. According to ESPN, the Cardinals, despite attendance dropping, are still 6th in the league at drawing fans. That's down from 4th in the league last season. They're averaging about 3,500 fewer fans per game in 2024. Reporting live outside of Busch Stadium, Holden Kerwicki, 5 on your side.
It is crunch time in the race for the White House. Both campaigns are hitting swing states this week, with the Harris-Walz camp visiting Georgia.
Meanwhile, former President Trump faces new legal problems. NBC's Bree Jackson reports from Washington.
Fresh off the convention and back on the campaign trail, Tim Walz delivering remarks to the International Association of Firefighters, one of the nation's largest labor unions.
And we know that when unions are strong, America's strong.
Vice President Kamala Harris and her running mate are setting their sights on Georgia this week, kicking off a bus tour aimed at reaching voters in rural parts of the state.
The road to the White House goes through Georgia.
Senator J.D. Vance is also hitting battleground states, including Michigan.
Michigan is leading the great American comeback, and Michigan is going to elect Donald J. Trump, the next president of the United States.
Former President Trump is facing a renewed legal battle over his efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Special counsel Jack Smith's office says this superseding indictment reflects the efforts to respect and implement the Supreme Court's holding. While original charges remain, some of the alleged acts Supreme Court justices ruled off limits and immune from prosecution were removed. Meanwhile, Vice President Harris is seeking to silence her critics when her and Walz have their first joint interview Thursday, something Republicans had called on her to do sooner.
Whether or not it will quiet the criticism, I think will remains to be seen how this interview unfolds.
This is a very important interview leading into the first presidential debate.
2 weeks to go until the first Harris-Trump debate and less than 70 days until Election Day. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
She's a world-famous country singer from Tennessee, but her charity work has the full support of the Missouri government.
And a local comedian setting to host a major award show. The St. Louis native who will headline the Golden Globes.
Thousands of athletes from around the world flocking to Paris for the second time this summer. Now the City of Light promises to deliver the best Paralympics ever.